Part of any research project requires teaching students how to cite sources appropriately and avoid plagiarizing the work of others. Within our research and report writing module, students are shown how to construct note cards for each of the resources they've used, and later how to take that information and place it in a works cited page using the Modern Language Association format, or MLA. Making sure that students know what's required to create this reference a positive exercise. However, it's not something students are regularly called upon to do, so for practical purposes it's never retained. Once students have been shown how to reference the source and in fact have created works cited pages, you can save a great deal of time on future research assignments, allowing students to create their citations using the Citation Maker in the Write Tools companion software. The newer versions of Office include a Citation Maker that addresses formats other than the MLA format. So if for some reason you need to look at other formats, you might want to use the feature directly in Word. In Word 2004, 2003, and 2000, however, this feature is not available, so your only recourse is using the Cite Sources menu within the Write Tools companion software. The tool we provided to cite sources in MLA format utilizes the most current MLA rules that were adopted in 2009. These new rules were adopted to address the explosion of digital media. In this video tutorial, I'll demonstrate how to use the Cite Sources menu included in the software, combine that with a works cited form, and then use it with the source card note-taking forms. The Cite Sources menu can be found under the Write Tools pull-down, under the Research menu item, and is called Cite Sources. It can also be found under the Revise Edit menu, and is called Cite Sources there as well. You have several options to insert or cite sources with the Write Tools companion software. If you have a blank Word document open, you can just add or cite the sources in the blank document. The source is placed in the document where the cursor was last positioned. When you create a works cited page, the sources are supposed to be listed in alphabetical order. If you choose to add a source to a blank document, you may have to do some cutting and pasting of sources to make sure they're in alphabetical order. Another form that allows students to cite sources includes the Sources Notecard. It's found under the Write Tools Forms, the third tab called Expository Genre, and is called Source Cards. In this example, I'll cite a sort from the Cite Sources menu about John Adams, a research paper I'd be doing on him. Gone into the Cite Sources menu. This particular one happens to be a movie or a DVD. So I pick Film first on the left side, and the type of publication is a DVD. The title is 1776, and the director is Peter H. Hunt. I look for the significant performers. In this case, it's William Daniels, Howard De Silva, and Ken Howard. The studio or distributor in this case is Sony Pictures, and the year of release, they specifically gave the date as the 2nd of July 2002. When I click Add, it pops it into the source card. To cite this particular source, I'm going to use the Mac version of the software, and I'm going to use the Write Tools companion software and the specific Write Tools form under Expository Genre tab that's called a Works Cited page. I'm going to close out any unnecessary documents or menus so that I won't have too much open, and I'll make sure I'm in the first field of the Works Cited page. I am doing a research project in this example regarding John Adams, so I've taken information from various books and sources and copied them in a PDF format just so you'll be able to see them on the screen. This example, you can see I'd gotten it from KidSearch powered by Abesco Host. It's regarding the Boston Massacre and John Adams' role in it. So I'll pull this up so I can see it right there. Then I'll go into the Write Tools companion software. And from the Write Tools companion software, I'll select the Cite Sources menu. This particular item happens to come from an encyclopedia version that is from an online database or the web. So I have to pick encyclopedia first and then web as the medium of publication. There is no author listed for this particular item, but there is an article title, Boston Massacre. So I'll place that in there. The name of the encyclopedia is Funk and Wagnall New World Encyclopedia. They don't list a specific edition, so I'll leave that blank. It's optional. That's what the asterisk means. The copyright date shows it's 2002, and the database source I will list as Kids Search, powered by EBSCOhost. Then I list the date I've accessed it with the day listed first, then the month, then the year. And the month is only the first 3 letters of a month, unless it's a very small name of a month, like May. The web address is no longer required. It is optional as of 2009 in the MLA format, but if a teacher requires it, I go ahead and allow you to enter it. Once you've entered everything and checked it, I'm going to first clear out that PDF that I have on my screen so you can see that it will go into the document. And then I will click Add. Gone ahead, you'll see it's entered the information right there on that particular Works Cited page. You will also see that the URL address caused some of the text to flow off the page. Don't worry about this in this particular document right now. When we draft it, it'll turn out fine. The next item that I'm referencing happens to be that same DVD I showed earlier. It's a film or a movie, 1776, and I'll put in the information regarding the movie, the title, the director, and the fact that it is a medium of publication is a DVD is very important now. See, the actors are there. We'll list them, and the director, Peter H. Hunt. Performers, William Daniels, Howard De Silva, and Ken Howard. The studio or distributor, is Sony Pictures, listed down there. The release date is the 2nd of July 2002. I'll go ahead and add it. It adds it into the document. You can see it's still flowing off the page, but don't worry about that. Once we draft, it'll be fine. I need to tab to move to the next row or field before I add another source. I'm going to use a book this time. The book was in print. I went ahead and made a copy in PDF so you can see what I'm working with. See the author. And the title of the book is John Adams. There is no edition, so I'm leaving that blank. No editor, translator, or narrator. The city published. You need to scroll down and look through the material. It's hard for you to see with what you're looking at here, but I can see that it was Danbury, Connecticut. You're not required to put the state unless that city might exist in several other states, and then you can do that. The publisher is Children's Press, and the copyright date, the year it was copyrighted, shows it right there, was 2004. I'll go ahead and clean out or move that PDF so you can see what I'm doing. I'm in the correct field. I'm going to click Add, and it added the book right there. Well, I've added 3 sources. I wanted to show you a feature that's available. It's the help or the question mark. You might see it on the Cite Sources menu. When you select a reference, say book or magazine or encyclopedia, and click that item or the help button, you are given a PDF that shows you various different ways to cite your source based on the medium that that source was produced in. So you see a book by a corporate author, a translated book. It shows how to fill in the form and then underneath what the citation looks like to give you a little additional help since it's a bit more complex now with citing sources. Now that you not only have to know the type of reference you're dealing with, but the medium of publication it was produced in as well. Similar example you can see for email or interview and the different choices you would have and what you would fill in on the screen based upon the medium of publication. Okay, we'll go ahead and add that item. We've added it already. Now we're ready to use the Draft Publish feature with that Works Cited form. And I usually tell students if it's a pink button, save it first because it's going to change your work in some way, shape, or form. So we'll go ahead and click the Works Cited button and we'll see what you get. You see we've got a Works Cited page that is indented and it is double spaced and it is sorted in alphabetical order for you. Citing sources is clearly an important part of the research process and is important to teach students to make sure they don't plagiarize. But when you're pressed for time, the Cite Sources menu is a great tool that allows your students to focus on the most important parts of the research process. That is the gathering of the research, planning, the drafting, and the writing the report itself.